challenge the stereotypes and stigmas holding us back. From navigating the 6 dimensions of wellness to redefining social norms, this is more than a discussion. It's a revolution in how we care for our minds and souls. Ready for bold, honest conversations that spark change? Let's dive in. It's time for real talk with real impact.
Well, welcome to Girl Talk Mental Health with me, myself, Virginia Dale Manning. And we are ending this month, kicking off the show with a powerful January about mindful resolutions, think positive, and set mental health goals that stick. It's the season of fresh starts, and we're diving deep into how to create mindful resolutions that not only inspire us, but truly stick, especially when it comes to mental health. So today, we're thrilled to have our special guest, Davina McLean Randall. She is the owner of A Caring Voice for You, and she's here to share some actionable strategies for setting meaningful goals that empower you to thrive all year long. So let's get started to take control of your mental health like never before. So, hey, Davina, welcome.
Hello, Virginia. Thank you so much for having me on today.
Absolutely. You know, you were going to be my first girl to come on for this first season of Girl Talk Mental Health. Who else could I invite except for you?
Oh, I appreciate it. All the love.
So, tell our audience a little bit about you, who you are, some of your awesomeness.
All right. Well, I am Davina McLean Randall. I'm the founder and owner of A Caring Voice for You. We're a nationwide wellness support for anyone going through life's ups and downs. So, everything in between stress, loneliness, grief, name it, we're here to support you. With over 15 years of experience as a therapist and an advocate, I've made my mission to support individuals from college students all the way up into older adults and veterans to provide compassionate and personalized service that foster connections, emotional resilience, and hope for all.
Ooh, I love it. I love it. And you're doing so much for the community and for people about their mental health wellness. So, of course, it's January, right? And
Mhm.
we're always talking about a new me, a new everything, right?
Right?
And as a mental health professional, that mindset is very important when it comes to making resolutions and goals because it's hard to stick to them, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It is hard to stick to them, and it's so important to adjust your mindset so that it's the new year, new you, and to really dive in deep to make sure that your mindset is a lasting one.
Absolutely, absolutely. So here we go with some questions, for the audience to help them understand more about how to get those goals, how to set them, and make sure that they stick as far as mental health. So, why is January such a powerful time to focus on new beginnings, especially for mental health?
I think January is so important because it's a new year. It's a new way to look at life, to bring a new perspective and something that we all strive for to positivity. So in January, it's important to rethink about your goals, your mindsets, things that you want to strive and do to make a difference in your life. So January is the perfect time to reflect and gain a better understanding of where you see yourself headed for the future.
Absolutely. So, me personally, I stopped doing the New Year's resolutions a long time ago, especially being a professional because, all year long, I like to practice goal setting all year long,
Yes.
right? But
hmm
for some reason, people fresh start, fresh January, let's do it on January. So, what is one of the things that you did, or one of your resolutions or goals that you set for January as a professional?
Well, as a professional, I always like to reflect on my mindfulness. It's a journey.
Mhm.
The thoughts that you think, the things that you want to achieve, it's a constant journey. So, some of the things that I have thought about and reflected on myself is, moving forward in positivity in my life every day in every aspect of my life. So, my goals is to, just concentrate on positive things in my life and shift my mindset when things happen in my life that's unexpected. We all have things that happen in our lives that we are not expecting.
Hmm.
And sometimes it can be like a bowling ball just flying at us. So, whenever those things happen, it's so important to take a step, take a step back, pause, give yourself time to think and reflect on what's happening so that often, things can happen and you quickly respond. So my goal is to kind of take a step back and reflect um, on life and as things happen.
Right, that's good because reflection, especially of the previous year, to know what you did right, to know what you did wrong, to know how you need to reshift is important. And I think that sometimes people miss that nugget of reflecting on the previous year. And actually, the previous day, you should reflect constantly to help you move forward in whatever your goals are. Because it's important to course correct. Because if you don't reflect, you don't know what you did right, what you did wrong, and how you need to course correct, right?
I agree. And to be honest with you, you mentioned something that's so important. You should reflect all the time. And I totally agree with that. Reflect on a daily basis. And sometimes as individuals and communities that we live in, just constantly on the go. We live in a microwave community mentality and world where we're always on the go and we're fast paced. But take time intentionally to stop, reflect, either if it's first thing in the morning, throughout your day, or even at night. Reflect and adjust your mindset so you can concentrate on things that's happening in your life that are going positively, or things that you may want to shift and change for the future.
Hmm. And so we talked about, what you did right and what you did wrong, right? So,
Right.
what are some of the most common mistakes you think people make when setting mental health goals, and how can we avoid them?
Wow. That's a big one because we all want to do things in a positive way, but sometimes our own selves can get in the way.
Hmm.
And I think genuinely having kindness toward ourselves because we can be our own biggest, I don't know, I guess we can be our own biggest criticizers. We can
Uh-huh.
criticize ourselves with the things that we do regularly. We're not good enough, or things just aren't going right. So I shouldn't have did that. And that's the negative talk can be one of our biggest downfalls if we don't catch it. We need to catch it and be intentional about speaking positively to ourselves. Be kind to yourself and speak. If it takes speaking in the mirror or even on your phone camera, positive words to yourself, words of affirmations to make sure that you know that you can continue to move forward no matter what obstacles come in your way, no matter what things that happen that were negative in your life, that you can continue to move forward. So I think, some of that negative talk can be weeded out and to speak positively to yourself and also forgive yourself. There may be things that have happened in your lives that are not good, things that you wish may have not happened, but don't um, treat that as a setback. Let that be a learning moment. And instead of seeing it as a failure, see it as something that you can learn from and move forward past.
Hmm. That's good. An applause.
Oh, thank you.
So, next thing. So, can you share some practical tips? And you already did, especially about being positive,
Mhm.
for turning New Year's resolutions or resolutions, period, into daily habits that actually stick throughout the year.
Wow. So yeah, those daily habits are so important because if you can get in the routine of doing something continuously, usually they will stick. So I recommend to just start small. That's what I recommend to my clients. So if it's thinking positively, maybe commit to saying some positive words of affirmations to yourself, maybe first thing in the morning or in the evening. And it could be something so simple as, right before you leave, say something positive. It could even be on the car ride to work. Say something positive, something that's going to lift yourself up. And even at the end of the day, do the same thing. It can help make a world of a difference to you. But
Right.
the key is to do it daily, or to do it continuously. Is set your own goals. If daily is a good thing, if several times a day is something that works for you, do it. But I say at least once a day, say something positive to yourself. And it does help to look at yourself, whether in the mirror or on another format, such as a camera phone, which we all simply have through in our lives. So that can be something that you do. Um, Something else that I think is so important is to track the positivity that you're doing. You know,
That's good.
we all have moments where we can't reflect on positive things that's happened in our lives, especially when we have those just really tough days.
Mm-hmm.
But if you track things that are happening that are good, and use those moments to reflect back on them later on, it can make a world of a difference again. For example, I recommend to my clients using a journal, and not just the typical journal when you're writing your thoughts. Those are great, but thinking about more of gratitude, something to reflect on when you're going through a tough time, or you just need a reminder that things are happening in your life that are good. So I recommend to my clients to write down two or three things. And if you can't get two or three things down, at least one thing per day that is positive in your life that you're thankful for. And each day do that. Do not repeat from the day or prior days before.
Mm.
When you're having a difficult time, look back on those things that you wrote down, because there are positive things happening in your life that you really don't realize until you can take a moment, reflect on those things, and be reminded of the things that you already have written down that are going well for you.
Oh, that is good, Davina. And I like the part about writing positive things down because it's so easy, with mental health and going into the negative and then ruminating on the negative, just looking at the negative. This didn't work out right. I didn't do this right. And it's so easy to get into that rabbit hole of thinking that everything is negative because that's all you focus on. And
Yes.
as they say, what you focus on is what grows, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, yes. And you're right. Writing down, especially with journaling can be awesome. And I also recommend journaling. But sometimes, if you are thinking negatively, it can be a continuous negative, um, sometimes rant. And we want to backtrack and make sure that, positive thoughts and positive words of affirmation, and your mindset is looking at things in a new light, because we all have moments where things that are happening in our lives that we're not proud of, or things just aren't, the way that we want them to be. So if we focus in on those positive aspects that's happening and shift our mindset, we can change the way we think and ultimately how we move forward in our journey.
Oh, that is good. Yes. So, how can someone balance ambition, setting those goals, with self compassion when they're striving for personal growth in their mental health journey?
Oh, that's a good one. So, self compassion, I think, is so important. A lot of us don't have anyone that's going to lift us up on a regular basis, that's going to say those encouraging words to us. We're typically often in it alone when we think our own personal mindset. So I look at it as a journey. And I think, and I often recommend to our clients that you have to lift yourself up. You have to motivate yourself. And a great way to do that is, I recommend sending yourself notes, sending yourself words of encouragement. I use post-it notes.
Mhm.
Recommend just writing down either words of affirmations, things that you're going to remember that can lift yourself up when you're having a difficult time. I and place them around the house. Place them on a bathroom mirror. You can place them in your car. Things that's going to help you get up and get going. That's going to motivate you. That's going to let you know that you can conquer and do anything. And I think that's so important. I had a client who had a difficult time just getting up and getting out of bed. It was one of those things that, was just hard for them for a variety of reasons. So, something that I recommended was placing those notes in your room, in your bedroom,
Mhm.
around your bed that help you and remind you of what you're getting up for, things that you have to do, goals that you set, because we all need reminders. And if you have to, make it you're on your phone screen of your phone. Put positive notes to yourself on your phone screen. Do things that's going to push you in the direction that you want to go. And I think placing notes around um, is just a great way for you to motivate and lift yourself up when you need it most.
I love that you are so positive. So I know that your clients are really blessed to when they get in contact with you and you start helping them work with the things that is your goals and objective in your company. So that's great. So here we go. We have our question that I ask every guest. So let me give you a little drum roll. So here's the question for
Okay.
every guest that I ask. What's one mindset set shift or action step you believe can transform how we approach mental health in our daily lives?
Ooh, okay. So this one's deep, because
Uh-huh.
it's so many things I can think of. But if I had to pick one, I think treating your mental health as equally as important as your physical health, or as the way that you breathe, or as the way that you eat on a daily basis
Mhm.
is just as important. Because your mental health can shift and guide every aspect of your life. And a lot of people don't realize that. You have to be whole. You have to um, have your mindset in a way that's going to push you toward um, the things that you want in life. And if your mental health is not the way that it should be, often other parts and components in your lives will ultimately fall apart. So I think it's important to put your mental health um, and make it equally important as all other aspects in your life, and make it just as important as your physical health or just eating or breathing on a daily basis.
Because we was earlier, you were talking about how people motivate themselves, right? But
Yes.
also, I think it's very important to have a positive environment, like the people you're around, whether it's at work, at home, friendships, church, wherever you at. Make sure that you have a positive environment because you need a nurturing, right? Even if it's not people that you really talk to on a daily basis, but just being in an environment, whether it's a workshop or training, your hobbies, whatever it may be, just make sure it's positive, and then it can just like make you feel so warm and nurturing, and it can motivate you even to love yourself more if you're in an environment of love.
Oh, that is powerful what you just shared. And I agree, totally agree. Surrounding yourself with people who are headed in the same direction you are is often one of the greatest keys to making sure that you stay on your journey to positivity for within your health, within your wellness. It's so crucial to be surrounded by positivity. And if you are not surrounded by the positivity, find and figure out ways to, kind of shift who you are around to make sure that you're headed in the right direction, and maybe
Well, I think we lost Davina for a second, but everything she said was awesome. She was going in the direction of telling us about how mental health is essential and how we can do things to make sure that our mental health resolutions, that we think positive, and that we set mental health goals that stick, because that's important. Making sure you have a positive environment and that you have positive mindset and you have positive people around you at all times to make sure that you are on your journey to wellness and for a fruitful, prosperous mental health journey. It's only the beginning. January is only the beginning. You have the whole rest of the year to make sure that you are sticking to your goals and that you are doing the things that you need to stay on a positive mental health journey. So, this is Virginia Manning once again, and we thank you for joining us for Girl Talk with Virginia, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you for joining us for Girl Talk Mental Health. Remember, your mental health is your wealth. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to at Virginia Dell Manning.